call that's a nice way to get familiar with your spatial data flows. And then I'm basically showing off Ellipsis Drive, do a tailored demo on specific elements and how such a workflow can work with our product. A second way to get familiar is just signing up. It's a free account that you get after you register that holds 5 gigabytes of data. That helps you to just upload a sample of your data to the drive, play around with it, get familiar, and it's basically very easy to upload some data. It takes you like 5 minutes to activate some content in the drive and see the value of it. So everything runs on a simple data storage fee. So that means that once you activate some of your spatial content to Ellipsis Drive, you simply take up a certain amount of storage. By doing so, you fall into certain data tiers that we have. So it can be a 50 gigs data tier or 100, for example. Over that, you pay a monthly fee. So this basically means that you either can share with an unlimited amount of users, so it doesn't cost you anything else, the more data that you share with multiple users at the same time. But also the intensity of working on the data doesn't influence the cost. So we don't penalize for data usage and also not for data sharing, because circling back to what we do, we're here to make spatial data easy to consume. Therefore, you should be able to do whatever with it that you'd like and share it with anyone. To conclude, it's a simple data storage fee. It's a monthly fee. You can scale up and down any time of day according to your own needs. When looking at sales teams, they basically have a goal to sell data to their customers. So at some point during the sales process, when it comes to selling data products, there's a need for visualization, because the customer or leads or prospects need to get familiar with the data. They want to see the quality, inspect it, have their questions. So data visualization is a very important part of selling data to customers. Ellipsis Drive's viewer can be used to easily mix and match together certain data samples that you may want to sell to customers. And it helps you to easily visualize that in our viewer and simply send a link out to your audience or your customer as part of the sales process. All the customer needs to do is to click on that simple link, and then they're presented with the data. They have a simple visual overview. So that's just a very easy way to visualize data for sales enablement, basically. There are basically two other profound use cases in Ellipsis Drive. The first one is when it comes to using spatial content. So that means that the moment that you're going to use spatial content, you have a certain need for data hosting, data management. That's where Ellipsis Drive can behave as a data repository, making sure all raster and vector data is being hosted in an interoperable fashion. So it's easy to query, it's easy to access, it renders into any workflow that your internal team is operating on. The second use case there that exists next to that is from a data provider standpoint. So after data is being wrangled into shape and a data product is being created, there's a need for that data product to find its way to their audience. And that's where you're basically becoming a data provider, and it's another link in the chain. So then there is the need to share data with your users and your customers. And in that scenario, Ellipsis Drive basically behaves as a data delivery mechanism, where you have an easy way of basically activating and publishing your data sets, sharing that with the right users, with specific user access to that data, maybe parts of a larger data set that you want to share or geo-fence off to specific customers. Maybe you want to set a personal fee to that data. So all that's being facilitated there. So to wrap it up, Ellipsis Drive either behaves from a data user perspective as a data repository, making spatial content easier available, faster to access, and faster to render into your own workflow. And the other use case is from a data provider standpoint, when there's a need for spatial content to find its way into customers' workflows, front ends, applications, dashboards. And then Ellipsis Drive is that delivery mechanism, so to speak. So the core mechanism of Ellipsis Drive is sharing spatial content. So that means that there is a provider to publish and host their spatial content in Ellipsis Drive, and wants to expose that to their audience. Ellipsis Drive has a certain place called the community library, where it's possible for you to basically publish any spatial data products or data sets that you seek to commercialize. By putting those in Ellipsis Drive's community library, you basically opening up your data to our user base that exists of more than 5,000 interested users in spatial content. They're interested to learn more about spatial data, but they may also be interested in your specific data set. So the community library is basically this search functionality that connects data producers with data users. So that element helps to connect those organizations together and make sure spatial data is not only being shared, but also being used by others as much as possible.